Welcome to this week's episode of Chop the Rock. I'm Diana Long with the Little Rock River Market, and our guest chef this week is Doe's Eat Place. So we have head chef David Brown and owner Catherine Eldridge, and we are going to talk to you all about Doe's, which is just a staple that Little Rock could not do without.
Yeah, we've been very blessed in Little Rock.
Yes, and so we were talking before the show that y'all have been in the location that you're in for 30 years, right?
May was our 30th anniversary.
May was your 30th, and the place has just got so much character and built in. I mean, you have to walk through the kitchen to get to the restroom, that kind of thing. And
Right.
so it's just, and all the political stuff on the walls and that kind of thing. It's just such a cool place. If y'all were anywhere else, it wouldn't be the same
Well, I
feeling.
complain about our building from time to time because it is so old, and people will say, "Why don't you just move out west?" And it's like, you can't move that history. I mean, that's part of who we are.
Exactly.
So yeah, we won't ever move.
Yeah.
We're not going west.
No, we like you downtown.
Yeah,
anyhow.
we'll
It's
be
a little bit more
downtown forever.
convenient. So, and you have owned the place. It's been in your family for 40 years or so.
30.
30 years.
30 in May.
Got it, for 30 in May, and then David here. We were learning all of this off air, which I always just think is so cool when you've got a restaurant or any business, but especially the restaurant industry. Where you've had long-standing employees, because it speaks volumes about the environment that you create there. And as a customer, I like to go to places that I know are treating their customers well and
Right.
that kind of thing. And so you've been there for
8.
28 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's been there almost the whole time.
Yeah, that's crazy, but so awesome. And no wonder the food is so consistently good, because you're not making any changes. I mean, you've got the same chef who's in charge of all of this.
Right, exactly.
Well, I'm very excited about what we're going to cook today. I know that Doe's is famous for your steaks and your tamales.
Right. That's what everybody knows us for.
Yes.
So that's why we brought the salmon today, because not everybody knows that we have that.
And I'm sure that it is just as delicious as a steak, but if you've got other options there.
Right.
And so I was really excited to see that. I never turn down a Doe's steak, even if I'm not in a steak mood. They can go Doe's, and I go, yes, I'll take a steak, please. But this is going to be really good. So I will let you guys kind of take over, and David, show us what's in here. How do you do this? First, you have this beautiful iron.
Seasoned
Yeah.
Skillet, yeah. This is one of our skillets that we use to cook our
do that.
steaks and salmon on.
I'm gonna hold that up for a second so
Okay.
they can. It's heavy
Yeah,
and it's thick. Look how seasoned that is. Wow.
and what we're gonna do here, we're gonna take a piece of Atlantic farm-raised salmon. It's a nice thick piece.
Now, if you were doing this in the restaurant, is that
That's a half a piece that we get, and that will feed 2 people, and that's how we serve it. Because you know, at Doe's, we like everything to be big.
you do? And so,
So
that's
we
why I
serve
was-
that family style also.
Gotcha.
We'll feed 2 people, and it comes with all the sides, just like our steaks do.
Gotcha. Because I was thinking to myself, that's a lot of salmon
That's a lot
for
of salmon.
one person.
And 3 women sometimes can share that, no problem.
Yeah, I could totally see how
Yes.
you could divide that, especially with all the sides.
Right.
Okay.
And if you get appetizers.
Yeah,
So-
right. You need that barbecue
Tamale.
shrimp stuff that
Oh,
you
yeah.
do, and a tamale or two. All right, so sorry to interrupt. That was
No,
just
it's
a
fine.
gigantic piece of fish there.
Fine. What we're gonna do here is we're gonna dress this fish. Okay, we're gonna take a little olive oil. First, we put this on.
Kind of rub it in.
Yeah, work that in real good. And then we have Tony's Satchers Creole seasoning,
Can't beat some Tonys.
and you get that rubbed in real good. Sprinkle it. And get it on the fish. And give it a nice coat. And then next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna take a little garlic.
Okay.
Let me have that spoon there.
Okay.
So we're gonna take the garlic and kind of. So the best thing about this is People love garlic.
Oh, I was really excited when I got here and saw that you had this giant bowl of garlic sitting there.
And we're gonna take that, and then we're gonna take some pepper. And what we're gonna do here, we're gonna take a little pepper and just get that worked in on it. And pepper is like one of our top seasonings too, because we use it to also use it on our steaks also.
Oh, for
glaze.
blackening and
Gonna take a little paprika, kind of.
paprika adds. Is it like a little bit of a smoky flavor? I know people like it for the color too, just
Yeah.
because it just adds.
A lot
such
of people think it's really just a kind of a garnish, but it's really got a nice flavor.
Yeah, I mean they're used to growing up and seeing it sprinkled over the top of deviled eggs.
That's
at the
exactly what I
family
was
reunion
thinking.
or whatever. Yeah, that's what I.
You
pictured
can't
when-
make deviled eggs without putting a little paprika.
No, people would go, these are naked. What did you do wrong here? So, yeah, it is really pretty once you get all that kind of blended
And
in.
it's, I mean, it's so easy.
Very simple. And I think that's an important thing to note here is for people at home who are, thinking, oh, this is such a delicious place to eat. It must be really complicated. And I think the trick in a lot of things is just keep it simple. You don't have to overcomplicate
We
it.
keep everything simple. Everything's pretty easy, but we start with quality ingredients. Like with our steaks, we cut our own steaks, and David cuts them every day, fresh. We just use good, fresh ingredients, and then keep it simple.
Right. There's no need to cover up the flavor of something
No,
if you've
if
got
you
to.
start with quality meat, you don't have to do a lot to it.
Right.
And we're gonna garnish this plate.
Okay.
Just gonna put a little purple
You
onion.
want me to put that in the oven?
Yes.
How
So-
long?
Yeah, I was going to say,
How long do you usually cook this, David? I don't even know.
We usually cook it at anywhere from 25. What is it? About 25
Is
minutes.
this ready, you think?
Yes.
So 25 minutes or so, and that's on what, like 225? Do you have to flip it?
Well, we normally at the restaurant we cook it. We cook the salmon at 350.
Ah, okay. So you want to preheat your oven to 350 if you're making something like this at home.
Yes.
And then I would always recommend an iron skillet type thing because I just think they cook so well. But if you're at home and it's not the most tender fish where it's just going to fall apart, but you don't want it to stick. So maybe
Yeah, you don't want to overcook it.
right, and so maybe like some parchment. Would you maybe put some if you didn't have a great pan
Yeah, you could use parchment.
under it, or maybe some of that quick release tin foil.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So by TV Magic here, we already had this, and we've been keeping it warm because that's just too good to have to wait 25 minutes for right there. It looks absolutely beautiful. And this has got some dill on top.
Yes.
Oh, we forgot the deal.
Yeah, we did.
But yeah.
So, okay, I was going to ask, is that like a certain variation? Like, let's say I wanted to order this salmon at the restaurant. If I wanted, I love dill. This would be the perfect way for me to eat it. But do y'all have it in different iterations of?
I mean,
or-
if you don't want the, I
I
mean,
smelled it when I leaned over. It smells so good.
if you don't want the dill, you just tell us and we won't put the dill on there.
Gotcha. Some
Yeah.
places are like, don't mess
Yeah.
with our recipe. We're not going to make any changes. They won't even put salt and pepper on a table.
Right.
And so it just tickles me a little bit.
It
but-
does me too.
Yeah. I'm like, come on.
Everybody's got different tastes, so.
Sure. So that looks great. So this would typically come with, you said all the sides.
Which are salad, Texas toast, and fries,
And
or new
fries.
potatoes
Or
at
new
night.
potatoes
We
at
have
night.
New potatoes at night. You can also add green beans if you would like.
Gotcha.
That's something that's fairly new on our menu.
Okay.
So
Cool. So your daytime menu and your nighttime menu vary some. So
they're
let's,
very different.
let's talk about
At,
that.
at lunch, we can do the steak and salmon at lunch, but we're mainly sandwiches. We're known for our old-fashioned
Oh, those burgers are so
cheeseburger.
good. Yes.
Yeah. And then we have our tamales. Almost anything we do at night, you can also get at lunch along with our lunch menu. But at night, it's just our steak, salmon, shrimp, hot tamales. Did I forget anything?
We've added some new lunch menu items.
Oh, yeah, we
Oh,
have.
okay. What are those?
We have a shrimp salad where you can get the shrimp broiled or you can get
Like
it
our
fried.
appetizer,
Oh,
except
okay.
on our soaked salad.
And we have a steak Philly sandwich where we take our sirloin that is prime and we trim it and then we cut it. It's on a sandwich with provolone on a hoagie bun.
With
So-
peppers and onions, it's delicious.
Yes.
I love that kind
And then
of
we
stuff.
have
Chicken
shrimp po'
Philly.
boy and a chicken Philly. We're also doing a chicken Philly
Oh,
at
that's
lunch.
cool.
So menu doesn't change much at Doe's,
That's
but
good, though.
we did add those for. They're not on our permanent menu yet. We wanted to wait and see how they sell, but
Gotta try 'em
they've been
out.
selling really well.
You know, I think that the consistency, everybody knows exactly what to expect at Dave's.
Right.
And I think because you've had that consistency for all of these years, that when you do try something out, people are probably like, oh, well, they do all these other things so well, so let's just go ahead and give this a try.
Yeah,
So I think
Yeah.
that's really cool.
yeah.
So you mentioned your soaked salad, which I love.
Our
a
soaked salad.
So we're going to make that
Okay.
today. Walk us through the process of the soaked salad.
And it's very simple also. It's
Love
just
it.
iceberg lettuce. We use tomatoes, purple onions, and this has oil, garlic, and lemon juice
Okay.
in here. We're just going to pour that over. And this is made as we use it.
Right, because you just stir all that
Mm-hmm.
up.
And then we're going to do a little salt to taste. That might be a little bit too much, but
And you just hand toss it all.
Mm-hmm.
And then how long do you have to let that kind of soak before? Or do
Just
you
a few minutes. Mm-hmm.
Just a few minutes? Okay. I know that several years ago, there was a place here in the River Market that had a great salad, and their salad dressing was exactly what you just mixed up. It was maybe a couple of other things in it.
yeah.
And when they left and were going to a brick and mortar store of their own elsewhere, which is, you know, one of the things we hope people do who have little vendor booths in
Absolutely.
here. I asked the guy, I like was reverse engineering that dressing because it
Mm-hmm.
is good any time of year. It's not unhealthy. It's not heavy. You can still
Very
taste
light.
the stuff, but you still get that perfect complementary flavor. And so that's really cool to see that that's what goes into that. I never would have.
People say, I've tried and tried to make that salad at home and I just can't get it right. What's in it? A lot of people think vinegar's in it, and it's not.
It's not, yeah. And I would have thought that too on.
Yeah.
Of course, you know, I think it always tastes different when somebody else makes it. You know what I mean?
It's always better when you don't have to cook it yourself.
Right. And so even if you got it right, so, you know, you probably had equal parts lemon and garlic and about twice as much of the oil in that
Probably,
bowl.
yeah.
Probably. And this isn't something that you're going to measure like, I need a quarter cup of this and a third. It's
No, you're going
eyeballing
to
it.
kind of make it, taste it. You make it to taste.
Yeah, that's what I do when I make
Yeah.
it at home.
Yeah.
Super
it's simple.
good. So easy. So, okay, so before we try this, because we are going to have a bite of this in here, that's part of the treat of having
this.
the show, yes. Do y'all have a website?
We do. It's doeseatplace.net.
Doe'sEatPlace.net.
We're on Facebook, Doe's Eat Place, Little Rock,
Okay,
because there are several around the state.
right.
We're on Twitter, but I don't tweet, so you probably won't get a response from me. We're on Instagram. We've tried to, I think we're even on Pinterest.
Oh, wow.
So,
okay. So you can
anyway.
probably just Google Doe's Eat Place Little Rock and find any of these connections. And
Right.
and then let's tell everybody what days you're open
Okay.
and your hours.
we're open Monday through Friday for lunch from 11 to 2. And then in the evenings, we're open Monday through Thursday from 5:30 to 9:30. And then on Friday and Saturday, we are open 5:30 to 10.
5:30
And
to
closed
10.
on Sunday
Closed on
because
Sunday.
David has to rest.
David does need to. David's the hardest working man. They said
So-
he came in extra early, comes in extra early every morning and gets everybody's stuff all together.
Yeah.
It's got to be just right, doesn't it?
Gotta
That's
have it
why it's
right.
so good,
We
man.
are very blessed to have David with us for 28 years, and so many of our staff. Deborah Wadley's been there for 28 years, and our assistant manager, Jesse Dowdy's been there 10 plus years.
Yeah.
So we're really blessed.
Makes a big
We're a
difference.
family atmosphere.
That's good, and that
Yeah.
you can tell when you come into the restaurant that
Yeah.
it absolutely. And once you kind of get that rhythm down, of how everybody works together, it's more of a well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
As much of it as a restaurant can be, because we
Sure.
all know that things are crazy in restaurants. Behind
Oh
you.
yeah,
It's
you
just
can always have that night that's kind of off.
yeah, that unpredictable.
I don't care how long
element.
you've been in business, you can have those nights.
Yeah, it's just so fast-paced too that you kind of
Yeah.
have to have that balance with everybody. So.
Absolutely, and work as a team.
Well, I am ready to taste some of this. Do you want to taste?
You wanna
your
taste
own?
it?
Sure.
I'll let you taste it.
Okay.
I actually had that last night.
Did you? Do you ever get tired of eating? I mean, at Doe's, do you?
Yes.
Yeah.
I hate to say that, but yes, we've been there for 30 years.
Good job, man.
So,
Thank you so much.
but I always try to eat local.
There you go. It's important.
Very important. And we have got such a great group of local restaurants in Little Rock. We really, really do.
We really did, and that was kind of one of the reasons why we decided to start this show. We love to promote all the wonderful things about Little Rock, and for a city of our size, and I think it's easy to take for granted what you have in your own city. So we're always encouraging people to kind of be a tourist in your own backyard,
Absolutely.
in your own neighborhood, and also branch out of your own neighborhood, because all of the little areas of town have pretty much everything anymore that you can need. So it's easy to kind of just live in that little bubble and miss out on all the other
I do that.
opportunities.
I do that sometimes. I have to really make myself sometimes get out.
I do too, and so I think that's just human nature. And so part of what we want to do here is just to remind people that we have fantastic. Our food scene here is just amazing.
It
the
really
local.
is.
We've got great music. We have a really good variety of museums and cultural things. There's so many little theaters around anymore. We've got Robinson bringing in Broadway shows that.
And they've
just
brought in
amazing.
really good shows since they've redone
Yeah.
it.
Oh yeah, yeah. We've had Jersey Boys is there this week, and so
Yes.
that's been a really cool showing there. But this is delicious. If you've not been to Doe's, shame on you. If you've not been to Doe's in a while, I encourage you to get back down, come downtown, visit all the great places that we have here. But make sure that you put Doe's on your list, because it is a don't miss place. Even if you just have a short amount of time and you want to go in at lunch. Thank y'all so much for being here today.
Well, thank
Thank
you
you.
for having us.
Have
Having us.
another bite of this.
Okay.
Y'all stay tuned for our next episode of Chop the Rock. Mm.